If you're looking for an English lessons in Solo City, look no further than IELC, Interactive English Language Center. That sounds like a commercial, but bear with me, this is not a commercial. I got my English lessons from IELC before I left to pursue my bachelor's degree at the University of Melbourne, Australia. I recently visited IELC campus after years and years of being overseas, and I was pleasantly surprised. The new campus is beautifully designed, creating a conducive environment not only for students but also for teachers and other staff. There's a very green waiting area, there's a small cafe, then there's a very comfortable reception area, and there's a big hall where fun activities are held every now and then. There's resource center, a library inside the campus. IELC now has more than 750 active students. It is the most reputable English school in my hometown. Perhaps if you were to ask anyone in my hometown where to get English lessons, he or she will definitely refer you to IELC.
Kok les bahasa Inggris yang di IELC.
Today I'm not here to focus on IELC per se, but the woman behind it, who made it happen, who contributed to IELC's success, Nina Wexler. I think I have known Nina for almost 15 years. I knew her because of her husband Anthony, whom I had private English lessons with when I was in middle school. So apparently Nina also did the same thing for a living back then, teaching English language in the comfort of students' houses. And not long after having Anthony coming to my house for private lessons, IELC was then founded. I think I still have IELC's turtle. IELC's logo is a turtle, or is it their mascot? But I have something. Do turtles make sound? They don't? Okay. But anyway. As I get older and I have worked full-time, I couldn't help it but to admire Nina's journey. Stepping out of her comfort zone and then from home tutoring to establishing an English language school in Indonesia, where she is a foreigner. So thankfully she has agreed for an interview, and I asked her, so what encouraged you to open IELC?
It was interesting because actually I had a very good friend. It was a friend of my family. Yeah. She's passed away since, but at the time she said, Nina, you go to people's houses. At some point you don't want to do that anymore. And that's when I realized that actually what she's talking about is the difference between somebody who's kind of like doing this as a job just to make a bit of extra pocket money, and somebody who's doing it as a profession, as a real professional who is a practitioner. Going to people's houses is one thing, but then actually treating it as a profession and seeing it as something that you invest in, strive for best practice, right, and things like that. That's already a different level. So that was. How many hours can you teach in a day?
I have never thought about it. The difference between job and profession. But after hearing from Nina, I looked it up. And I think the definition provided by Google Dictionary says it all. Profession is defined as a paid occupation, especially one that involves prolonged training and a formal qualification. Meanwhile, job refers to a paid position of regular employment or a task or a piece of work, especially one that is paid. I also took the opportunity to ask Nina about her transition from home tutoring to, running IELC.
I think that transition took quite a few years. Yeah. So and at one point you realize that teaching is one skill, and then selling language programs is a separate skill. So I don't think we understood that at the beginning, and we just sort of gradually. I think you just you have to sort of learn from especially from your mistakes, and be patient with your mistakes, and constantly be trying to figure out what is the solution to your problem. Just identifying the problem.
When I asked Nina about her or IELC's milestone, then I found out that IELC used to be registered as a foundation instead of the company that it is now.
I think the milestones, again, we really, when we started out, we didn't know what we were doing. Everything was very organic, and I think we were lucky in the sense that we were in the right place at the right time, and we had good instincts, and so a lot of our decisions were the right decisions, even though some of the decisions were, and we were able to learn from our mistakes. So everything was really quite gradual and organic. One milestone we had was around 2012, I believe, where we started a process of sort of formalizing IELC as a business, and that's when we actually became a company. And so we were a foundation, but that was limiting in the sense that we couldn't, there was no ownership of the business. The foundation is a board, and there's no ownership of assets. So we moved into, we got the legal status of a company. And that allowed us to own asset, which then allowed us to own land, which then allowed us to build our own building. And then the milestone after that, which was really based on the ability to own land, is when we were able to build this. I think mostly I'm most proud of the people that work for us. How they've grown, and how they've we've had a few people who've been with us for a long time, 10 years, 5 years, 6 years, and they've really committed. So part of me is very proud of the fact that we created this environment for other people to thrive, and of course the students. We have some great success stories. People have really made huge transformations in their lives because of the quality and the level of our programs, and so I guess we're very proud of that too.
I asked Nina if she has an advice for my blog readers or for me.
I think one of the main things would be is to never assume that an opportunity can give you or not give you what you want. You have to always be open to all kinds of opportunities. You have to not be afraid to do certain jobs. You have to not be afraid to get in there and do something. You can't compartmentalize yourself. Well, I'm this person and I only do this. And for that job, I'm going to get somebody else. You can limit yourself, and you can hold yourself back when you do that. I mean, I think that if you have an entrepreneurial approach, it doesn't matter what you do. You can still be entrepreneurial as a tutor. You can have your own website. You can have your own Instagram page. You can do all the things that entrepreneurs would do to grow their, to grow professionally. And yes, it probably would mean that you take on the tasks that you feel you need, even if you don't want to. The sort of like the dirty jobs, just to gain experience. At the same time, though, you do have to, at some point, understand your self-worth. I know what I do, and that's not what I do.
Towards the end of the interview, I asked Nina if she thinks she's a successful woman.
I think yes. Yeah, I think yes. And I would say why I would move away from the external evidence of that success, and just more of the internal success of feeling that it's through hard work, through sticking through things, it's through all of the challenges that I feel now very comfortable in my I have the freedom, I have professional freedom, professional authority, professional. I also feel like I have a professional balance. And I think maybe even more than anything, I still have more to do. It almost keeps you real. You know, don't rest now. There's still more to do.
It took me some time to be able to understand what Nina just said regarding there's more to do. And it's true. I mean, you're not a project. A project's completion and goals are set out, and there's also a finish line that marks the end of the project. After you've already hit the finish line, that's it. But you're not a project. You're a person who continue to grow, who continue to learn. So if you have already accomplished what you set out to do, perhaps, and you stop there, and perhaps the question is, have you dreamt big enough? Personally, my life revolves around my dreams, my goals. They keep me going. I don't think I can imagine my life without looking forward to something to achieve or to accomplish. Talking to Nina was definitely eye-opening, and as I write the blog post or even make this video, I continue to have moments of self-reflection and deep thoughts. So thank you, Nina, for your time, for sharing your story, your journey, advice, and I wish you and your family as well as IELC continued success. This is my first Women Inspirations video. Definitely not my last. I will continue to interview more inspirational women in the future and share it with you all because they're just inspirational. So I'm sure we can learn a lot from them. If you like this one, most likely you will like the future ones as well. So subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking my profile picture. Yes, my cool profile picture. It's me. It's not someone else, it's me. So thank you and bye for now.